Welcome back. Hoarding cases in Singapore have jumped by 42% in the last 4 years to about 630 today. Of this, more than half are still unresolved, involving uncooperative hoarders. Now, to better manage these cases in homes, a new alliance will provide coordinated efforts in monitoring and preventing recurrence. Claudia Lim with more.
Items piled from floor to ceiling with little room to move. Such cases of hoarding can prove challenging for the social service agencies that try to help.
Manpower limitation is one of the key factors that hinder our ability to manage. Decluttering is very labor-intensive process. Of course, there are specialized equipment which agencies like us may not have ready access to. So coordination with all these stakeholders in the past was also very fragmented and time-consuming, and there's delays in the interventions.
That's why the Alliance was set up to better support and spot at-risk cases. Called the New Enforcement Action Team, or NEAT, it comprises 28 members from government agencies, community groups and private organizations. Through exchanges and engagements, the group can tap each other's expertise and coordinate coverage. The move comes amid a rising number of active hoarding cases, which agencies warn will have consequences if not tackled.
In severe cases of hoarding, items could spill out onto the corridor, posing significant health and fire risk, and also obstructs firefighters' efforts.
The Alliance will also have access to counsellors or psychiatrists who can help address some common causes of hoarding. For instance, those with compulsive disorders as they cope with emotional distress, loneliness or trauma.
If it's a disorder, it could be the psychiatrist that comes in to provide medication. For the seniors who are feeling lonely, they might need, volunteers to come in to chat with them periodically to help them with the social isolation, to build up their community, build up their confidence in the environment around them. So various parties need to come into play.
With this new approach, the hope is that hoarding can be addressed in a more holistic and sustainable manner.
And for more, we're now joined by two members of the Alliance, Khoo, Treasurer and Co-Chair of Corporate Social Responsibility at the Singapore Contractors Association, and Patricia Chia, Director of Volunteer Experience at Blossom Wool Society. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Chia, let's start with you. We understand that Blossom Wool Society works closely with hoarder families. What are some of the challenges that you face on the ground?
Okay, so there's actually two types of challenges. So actually one is actually having hoarders that are actually willing to actually accept our help, and also getting us to actually come in to actually declutter their house for better living conditions. Because some of them actually face issues of just recover from the health, and so they really need a better state, a living state. So that's where we're actually able to actually get us to actually go into help. So other case is a very severe case where the hoarders are actually having a resistance of not accepting any help. So there's actually a lot more persuasions that actually require us to actually convince the seniors, and also really putting in the view of being empathy, and so to actually understand why they're actually having the items in their home.
Yeah. Most of them are seniors, as you mentioned.
Yes.
Is there a reason why?
So for what we actually realized that they actually want to fill up something in the house to occupy their emptiness, because they're actually having a sense of insecure, also feeling lost as well. So having something that they can actually find from when they actually walk around, picking up the things, and also put in their house is something that giving them a companion and things like that.
If you could choose one, what is the one case that has stood out to you the most?
One of the cases having when we're actually doing decluttering, one of our seniors actually stay in the living room, looking at us, and also while we actually declutter. Okay. So it's actually very stressful for us to to actually prevent ourselves from actually throwing things that he actually very sentimental to him. So we actually distract him so while we actually declutter, and so trying to convince him that this is something that you would like to actually discard, or to actually change something new, or try to actually refresh your home with something else. So like a lot of persuasions when he's there sitting and looking at us.
It sounds like quite an arduous activity as well. It probably takes many hours to declutter and clean up a house. Mr. Khoo, let's bring you in here. You co-chair the CSR team at the Singapore Contractors Association. Yes. What motivated you to join this alliance?
Our association is 3,000 members strong, companies from the built environment sector. So many main contractors, specialist contractors, and building material suppliers. So we've always been involved in CSR activities where we provide and contribute through repair and refurbishment works. And this alliance would actually open up more doors for us to contribute on the national level. That's why we are very keen to be part of the alliance.
But what do your members bring to the table? I mean, how have you collaborated with others within this alliance to help hoarder individuals or families?
So, like I said, we have 3,000 members, varying skills and trades. So with that kind of outreach, we are able to find the appropriate manpower and material suppliers to help out with repair works. So most of these flats are very poorly maintained. They probably will need new paint, repairs to sanitary ware or leaky pipes. Some cases, electrical wiring, which poses a fire hazard to the occupants. Sometimes more extensive work, replacement of doors and windows, even flooring. So we have cases where the floorings were damaged. We have recently attended to one case. We provided, SCAL sponsored and provided painting supplies and materials. And we also did the plumbing repair works. So this flat had leaky pipes, so the water bill was increasing quite a lot. The drain pipe was broken, so slightly unsanitary. So we, simple works, but I think it's made a big improvement in the living condition of the occupant.
I'm very sure of that. According to a government watch list, if we look at the numbers though, there are 357 active hoarding cases. That's up from 253 in December 2021. And they have been marked as complex and unresolved. How are organizations like yours, Ms. Chia, working with the hoarders to get their cooperation to declutter their homes?
So for us, we're actually having this alliance of actions to actually getting their support is actually very beneficial because having someone to actually profession and so having an expertise to actually help us to actually convince the seniors for better living conditions because for us to actually go into declutter actually take times and also to rally the volunteers to go in. So yeah.
And most of these volunteers, they are young adults, they're teenagers, isn't it? Is there a lesser known side to those who hoard that can help us understand their situations better?
So lesser known side, I would say, is we are unable to actually know what's the story behind them because it actually takes more time for us to actually get the beneficiaries to actually voice it out to us. And also the time that I actually spend is only 1 day and also 6 hours. So during the decluttering process, so getting to know and also be able to actually sense any signs or symptoms, it actually takes some time when we actually do decluttering. So this is actually a very unknown sign that we can actually know. So and also I think that's something that is very important for us to actually know during the process to really to actually observe throughout the decluttering process to actually see whether there's actually discomfort of the beneficiaries.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us, Mr. Khoo, Ms. Chia. That was Roy Khoo from the Singapore Contractors Association and Patricia Chia of Blossom Wool Society.